Hello and welcome to MotoGP Mac, where MotoGP fans congregate and Dorna officials fear to tread.
Oh, Dorna officials. Yeah, no doubt you have something on Dorna. We'll get to Dorna later on, but
Yeah,
how have you been doing, sir?
okie dokie. Gotta have two operations, so I'm aching.
Yeah, ooh.
That's gonna be
Well,
more fun than a white man deserves.
yeah,
No.
well, they say, when you go for surgery, it's the best sleep you'll ever get.
Yeah, I know. I never sleep. Yes, it is.
So yeah, good stuff, good stuff. It's been a pretty hectic weekend for myself. I don't know. This is the first time ever that yesterday's race reaction video or update or whatever you want to call it. I shot that in an airport. I edited the video on a plane and I uploaded it when I landed. So it's been one of those days. I was away in Wolverhampton with my young fella for his birthday. We went to a Premier League match, which was very
All
eventful,
right.
I would say. But it's a lot of traveling. Well, not a lot of traveling. Like it's only over to the UK, but it's just a bit of a balls getting in and around there. But anyway, so I was up watching the MotoGP Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff to talk about in today's race. I thought was pretty weird, actually. I don't know. It was just something.
Yeah, remember I was always asking about what the hell's going on with the Anea. Remember? I said, where the hell? Why isn't he jumping back? And Rich just said after all this time, he goes, "Oh, he broke his, and it takes forever to heal."
Well, there is that, right? But there's also he had the injury in race one, right? Like sprint one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And in the factory team, they're still trying to figure out the development direction, the direction of the bike, what do they want to do, and this, that, and the other. And then you crash out, or you get knocked off, or whatever people want to call it, and you're out for 5 races or whatever it was. At that stage, the development of the stuff is done, right? It's the bike is done. It's developed. They found the nitty gritty. They found the groove of it, and he was out of the picture. So it all went Pecco's way. Do you know what I mean? So technically, he's riding a Pecco bike.
Well, he always said he just wings it. Remember, he said I'm the worst at setting up a bike. They just set it up. I jump on it. You know.
Yeah. But again, you see, it's fine. They set it up to an already sorted bike, but the bike wasn't sorted. His.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? So look, I'm interested in it, but firstly and foremostly, he goes very well around Sepang, as we saw last year. I think he has maybe an eye in, or how would I say, there's no better kick in the hole than to say, well, we're going to swap you out for another fella, right? So he got a kick in the arse. Yep. He's like, hey, don't talk about fucking replacing me at all, fellas. Yeah. This is what I can do.
I said last week, they should have everybody tell them that they're getting kicked out.
Exactly, right? So I thought, but look, he does go well around the circuit. He did get a kick in the hole, as we would say in Ireland, about, your job or whatever, this, that, and the other. And, look, I think to give him fair dues, I think he didn't make it easy for Pecco in the sprint, or he kind of showed the world again, yes, I'm faster than you and I can go past you at any time. But he did protect him as well. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I think there is definitely the team order in there, and you can't blame it within the factory team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, 2 races left. The other guy isn't getting a fiddle a chance in hell.
And I think this is kind of like, if you look at it, every Rossi fan, right, from 2015, if there's the championship fight and you're not in it, stay the fuck out of it. Do you know what I mean? And I think that
Fabio, they told everybody in 2022. They told Yamaha told the other riders, don't let Fabio pass. You know,
That was it. That was it. And, yeah, that was last year. We saw it in Sepang as well that they were telling Franco Morbidelli, get out the fucking way.
yeah, they had it
And
on
it was literally.
it wasn't a rumor because they had it on the side of
Yeah.
the racetrack. It was like let them pass, let them, you know.
Yeah. So look, I think. Yeah, look, I think Bastianini has just sent a message to Ducati. If I'm very honest, do you know what I mean? Is that just to say, hey, listen, I know Martin might be here this year, but you know what I mean. I'm still fast and whatever. Whether that'll be enough to keep it, I don't know. Secondly, there's an awful lot of the rumor that he will be replaced in by Jorge Martin, and I can see that happening to a point, right? But I think the only way that will happen is that if Martin agrees to wear number 1, should he?
Oh, okay.
That would be kind of where I would see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I suppose Pecco. I don't know. Something was fucking up on Saturday. It was really. I was looking at him. He was like a nervous fucking teenager about to get the shift or kiss a girl or something. Do you know what I mean? He was. He was riding really, 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 really tight.
Tight. That's a good word for it. Tight. Yeah.
You know, he just wouldn't let it flow, and you could even see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could see it like even with Martin when he was behind him. Martin was doing the V, and he was doing this a little bit today, but Pecco wasn't carrying the speed. Do you know what I mean? No. It is
didn't
a
he say
little
he had
bit
problems with the front end?
Yeah, but they all have problems with the front end. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm assuming when he says I have a problem with the front end, he means more than normal.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like there was a weird issue going on there. Now originally I thought it was tire pressures issues, but it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be that it was tire temperature issues at the front was causing a lot of grief for people, and you know, I suppose in a way then, like when the temperature goes up, you lose grip. Do you know what I mean? You can't push it. Now, saying that, I do believe that there is something within the tire pressures as well, because you could see like Jorge Martin, right? Okay, he is on a warning for his tire pressures, right? So he pops again, and he will get a 3-second penalty. And you could see that his bike was set up with him leading in mind. Does that make sense? The tire pressures.
I have a feeling. I know what you're saying.
Like he had 4 or 5 laps to get to the front, and if he wasn't in the front, he's going to be in trouble, right? And you could see that he was losing the front constantly. Now, whether that was pressure or temperature, I'm not sure. I think it was a mixture of both. To be honest, I think he was more set that he was going to be leading, so he would probably have to be a little bit above the minimum. Does that make sense?
I know what you're saying. But also on the same breath, the Pecco outrode him the second race. He just did. He loosened up on that second race.
I don't know. I think Pecco's front tire was cooler than Pecco expected it to be because of the gap. And I think he was able to pull away then because he still had feeling in the front. Whereas Martin didn't, because he went over pressure or over temperature. And it exactly happened. The exact same thing happened to Martin. Then again, that happened
after the race said, I kept losing my front end, and it was a real problem. I was always afraid.
Yeah, but they were all faced with that problem. But it was just Martin's was just exaggerated. Do you know what I mean? So
it's hard to tell here.
We have to be very transparent in this, right? Pecco also did pop for a tire pressure warning as well, so he is on his last warning, the exact same as Jorge Martin.
Okay.
Now our favorite Mac Oxley really blew this out of proportion. Was that boom? Pecco was Ducati and Pecco thing. They wanted to save this till the last race or the second last race. So complete and utter horseshit, right? Firstly, Matt Oxley is not a friend of Ducati, and Ducati have banned him from their pit box, right? So how does he even know their strategy of what they were planning to do or whatever?
Yeah, I know.
So shut the fuck up, sir.
He's yet to apologize for saying he was cheating, and I personally have said it, put it to him personally.
Yeah.
When did he talk about this? No, nothing. You don't want to hear anything about it.
Yeah. He ran the story about Ducati, but failed to mention that Yamaha and
Everybody else,
had tweaked for it the week before. So look, eventually, look, I think this is probably the biggest issue that MotoGP have to solve is this tire pressure issue, right? Because if we go to the last two races, right, and one of them pings during this and it costs them 3 seconds, you've just destroyed a whole championship over a stupid and dumb regulation that who really gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean?
They're doing their best. They don't want the rider to crash. They don't want to lose a championship. Their goal is to keep a guy on the bike. They're going to do the best they can. They're not going to cheat themselves, all right, and play games because you're not getting all that grip. The difference is not that great between.
No, it is. There is a big difference. If you got your tire pressures right, look at what Alex Marquez did yesterday. He fucking pissed them. Absolutely pissed them in the sprint. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not that big of a difference between when you're racing, when you're at the limit and close to the limit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I look like that way, yeah. But like for me, when I'm looking at it, right, like when you're going to look at a championship and you're going to say, oh, Michelin are putting in that these are the safe working areas of this tire, right? Which is fine. I get it, right? But motorbike racing is a dangerous fucking sport, right? It is, right? Like carbon fiber wheels crack. Do you know what I mean? Chains break. Handlebars fall off. Anything can fall off. Like a wing can fall off and hit you in the fucking head nowadays, right? Do you know what I mean? It's dangerous. I would be like to Michelin. We have these Michelin tires till 2025. You know, do you know what I mean? So Michelin, in my view, need to sort their shit out. Of these guys need to run the pressures to generate grip. You need to make a better tire to be able to sustain that. That's my view.
But over the years, I noticed tires, just like any other part, they have ebbs and flows where you make advances, then you don't. Then you make advances, then you don't. They're doing their best. It's not like they're sitting there where they're sitting on their hands.
It is, but look, like they've been trying. They knew last year that they needed a minimum tire pressure, right? That's why they were trying it. Now, for me, they've had a year of fucking development, and nothing's done. Nothing. No improvement is fucking there from Michelin. Right? And we have that same tire carcass till the end of 2025.
Right, but we don't know if we don't know if they've hit a wall or not. You know what I mean?
Maybe they have, but look again, like realistically, right? To solve the problem of the thing Haji was saying it the other day, you need to get rid of rear right height.
Oh, jeez. Good. Then we'll have everybody crashing. You take one safety device off to have something else. Bullshit.
But this is why the front tire pressure regulation is in for safety. It's all. Look, I don't know. Look, I will be fucking absolutely raging if this title battle comes down to someone getting pinged.
Yeah, I know.
A green touch or a thing. Now, let's be also fair and honest about this, right? In the last two races, right, this is not club racing. This is fucking absolute pinnacles of the sport, right? I don't think Pecco Bagnaia is going to be setting the tire pressures of his bike. And I don't think Jorge Martin is going to be setting the tire pressures of the bike, right? So therefore, they should not be responsible for that. From my view, MotoGP is going down a line of Formula One that it can't come back from. You put this tire regulation in, it's stuck now. You cannot get rid of it.
Yeah, but you can't. But we're at a point where like our engineer buddy said, right? Steve, he said, if you want the safety to increase, you're going to have more tech, not less. Unless you want to start riding the bikes, you don't want the horsepower and you don't want the speed.
But
Everybody
he,
wants
but
speed.
he also did say, now to be fair, Jake, right? As a fan standing at the side of the circuit,
I know they don't know the difference, but in their head, they want that things to be the pinnacle. They want it to be the fastest.
as
You
long as
can't
it's fast, as long as
baby
it's faster
stick
than
it back in.
as long as it's faster than the World Superbike, you're fine. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
But
but
that's
we're at that point where if it gets faster than a super bike, you still need it. We can't stick the baby back in, and you can't go by your ass
but
in your
that's
hand.
that, but that's my point, Jake. It's like
Yeah.
everything now is going the very much so way of Formula One in
But
rules and
we're
in
far
things.
away. We're
We're
far
not.
away.
We're not actually though. We're not, Jake. And I'm telling you that now. We're not. The governance that is coming in within this, right, is that it's going to be fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely going to be so ridiculous. Like what was I was looking at Formula One the other day? Some driver got fucking fined for some stupid thing that they had an overarching, like they ran the show. Do you know what I mean? And you're just like going, or what was it? I think it was a driver had a go and he failed. Now the move was on. The move was definitely on, right? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But the other fella shut the door, and you're like going, "You leave them fucking race." Do you know what I mean? And then there was another fella that
Well, they couldn't even. They need a permission to pass each other. You know what I mean?
exactly, but then within the technical regulations,
Bikes and cars are two different animals.
But
And by the way, when I say engineer, I'm talking about the different one. Remember, who was the older guy that's been around forever that we had, and we didn't lose. We lost the tape. The tape didn't tape. We had him for a.
Rick Scarborough, yeah.
No, not Scarborough. It wasn't Scarborough. It was. He's been around forever. He's like 75 years old.
Parrish.
Parrish. He said the same thing. I'm an engineer. We need more. We need ride height. We need the ride height. We need
But it's not about the technical innovations, Jake. It's the regulations that are the problem. Like they're bringing in stupid regulations that are going to. Now I get it, right? If people are running, let's just say the safe working temperature or pressure of a tire is 12, right? Just say 12 psi, right? And they're running it at 3. You can go, okay, lads, stop pulling the fucking pins, right? But if they're running it at 8, 9, I would be like to the manufacturer, like, you know what these fuckers are going to do, right? When you're designing your tire, you need to understand what the fucking engineers are going to be trying.
Right.
You need to make what is the minimum safe pressure. And it's very, very simple, right? In these bikes now, you can see it. You can 100% see it. 100%. And like today, you saw it with Jorge Martin. As soon as he did 5 or 6 hot laps behind someone, he was in trouble with the front. Right?
Oh, I absolutely agree. The regulation. Every time Dorna gets his fingers in any performance regulations, everything runs amok. They do it back asswards every time.
And I said this when this regulation came in, right? And I still stand by it today. That they have 2 or 3 fellas in the first 5 rows, whatever it is. And a fella randomly checks the bike. Or he goes across all 3. Joe, because only 3 bikes per row, right? It's fucking 30 seconds. Do you know what I mean? Bang, 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 bang.
Bang, bang. Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And that way then they turn around and they're saying at the start of the race, bang, you're on the minimum pressure.
Yeah.
That's it. Right? Yeah. And if you do, because like, can you imagine, right, trying to work out your strategy for the race, right? Of okay, so we plan that we're going to be in second place, 1 bike, do you know what I mean? So every 3 laps you need to be pulling out of the slipstream to make sure that you're cooling the front tire.
Right.
For fuck's sake, that's not racing. Do you know what I mean? That's not the fella in front of you. Do you know what I mean? And this is where I mean that we're going down the path of Formula One, where a race now is becoming all strategy. here's what we're going to do. So we're going to design your tire pressure. We're going to start two psi under, because we know the plan is that you are not going to hit the front till lap 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you hit the front in lap 6, your tire pressure will come down because you have the cooling on because there's no one else in front of you. And it's bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Well, like it's great to understand it, but I think it's going too far down a direction of. So why don't they do a fucking pit stop now and all? Do you know what I mean? That's where I'm going. Like, okay, well, like, how long are you going to?
Bite your tongue. The day they have pit stops, the day I stop watching.
Exactly, but this is the whole point of it, is that it's coming down into a strategic thing. We're going to get something fucking stupid happen, and I want the riders to win this on the track. I don't particularly care who wins it. If I'm very honest, I like Pecco, I like Jorge Martin. Would I lose sleep if one or the other? But I wouldn't, to be honest. I'd lose sleep now if Bautista won.
Okay.
But for me, when I look at it, it's just like, it's not go back to the old. It's not about technology. It's just about common fucking sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they destroy a championship because a rider who's fucking riding his heart out, trying to go as fast as he fucking can, has no control over how that tire pressure was set, who set it, he's just getting on the bike and fucking riding the wheels off it.
Leave it to the manufacturers. They're the engineers. They know what's going to make what's right and what's wrong. Okay, and they don't want people crashing. They don't want people smashing up. Dorna, get their damn fingers out of it. They're not supposed to be there. They're organizers. They're promoters.
I am a big fan of, like, if the manufacturer set the tire pressure or the team, then they're the ones that face the penalty. It shouldn't be the riders. Do you know what I mean? He can't turn around and right?
Exactly.
But so let's just say, for instance, right? Put it in such a way, for example, and this is how serious, if I was going to go for it, right? There would be a large financial impact to the team.
You said, yeah.
Right? And the second part of it would be a reduction in your test tires the following year. Like, really put it in there.
Yeah,
that will keep them fucking on the straight and narrow.
So
your cut once is 250,000. Just say, right?
Yeah.
Your cut the second time, it's 500,000. Your cut the third time, well, that's fine. It's 1 million plus. We're taking 10 sets of tires off you next
year. Yes,
that will fucking quieten you down. Do you know what I mean? That will say, all right, and then have it just.
We got to go to. We got to run for Dorna. We should. Christ Almighty.
But you know, it's not the rider's fault. He doesn't fucking.
No, it's not the rider's fault.
He knows the tire's over pressure or over temperature, but because a light comes on his dashboard. That's all he fucking knows, and then he can feel it, obviously. So
think about the way we have it now. We have who? If somebody walked up and didn't know the situation at all, didn't know racing or anything. Who makes the rules for tech and for performance? Oh, the guy that fills the seats, the promoter. The guy puts up, stop here for this weekend. What do you mean? Not the engineer, not that. No, it's the promoter. The guy sells tickets. Come on.
Anyway, off that's that rant done anyway for a while. But anyway, back to the racing. So the Beast, it was great to see him get back to his winning ways. He sent a really, really strong message to Dorna, in my view. Really, really, don't forget me and don't think you're going to get fucking around this. I think Alex Marquez was really impressive. And, he did speak in an interview after Saturday's race, and he said, the time off that he had with the ribs and coming back with still the rib injury, he couldn't ride the bike as aggressively as he wanted to, right? But he actually found that the smoother he was with the Ducati, the better it performed. And we're like, well, I was like, when I read it, I was like, well, no shit, Sherlock. You don't see Ducati riders riding like a Honda. It doesn't happen. You don't see the bike all over the place spinning.
Not wrestle it. Yeah, right.
So I think he's tweeted. Will he come out in Qatar and do the same thing? I don't know. I think a couple of things happened right for him. I think he landed at the track, and I think they had the right feeling in tire pressures. Personally, this is what I genuinely think. He had a good feeling on the bike, and it's one of those tracks where you're on the side of the tire quite a lot. So if you have a little bit of good feeling, the right pressure is there, you will just run for it. Again, did he change his riding style? Yeah, I could see him not being as fucking wavy coming out, especially coming out of the corners, not trying to just like kill it. But again, a lot is going to be answered in Qatar, in my view. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
The gruesome twosome. So
And again,
Pecco,
the cars are on track, and I think they changed it again, did they?
yeah,
Did
there's some slight changes to it. Yeah. But I don't think it's actually. I think it's our last year. I don't think it's on the calendar for 2024. Qatar, but the gruesome twosome. Jorge Martin normally goes well in Qatar. Look, it's going to be a pleasure to watch the championship fight between them.
Yeah.
I just hope something stupid doesn't happen, either regulation wise or someone who shouldn't be involved in the title fight gets involved in the title fight and fucks it up. Like, I was absolutely wetting myself almost when Martin and Pecco went toe to toe. Do you know what I mean? And it was just it was only for a couple of laps, but it was just like, for me, that sent mind games back from Pecco to Martin to say, I'm not fucking afraid to fight you. He pushed
especially
him out.
when he ran the outside.
He pushed him, he pushed him right out onto the curb. Now, saying that, as a racer, if someone tried to do that to me, I would absolutely show him the fucking grass, right? I would 100%. Here's the grass. Go fucking eat that for an hour or two. So now, what I will say, what I really, really like about Sepang, right? There was not one mention of track limits this weekend. And the fucking reason why that is because there's no green lines. There's no green paint. If you're out on the green stuff, you're on the fucking grass.
Really?
And I dare you open the throttle because you'll end up on your fucking ass. Do you know what I mean? And that's
right. I didn't notice that, to be honest with you.
And there was no mention of track limits this weekend because there's grass.
Oh, whoa. No, but didn't whatchamacallit went over? No, that was the damn. What am I talking about? That was the damn. I thought Pecco got hit for that, but it wasn't. That was the stupid ass air tires. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Fabio did quite well. Obviously not Saturday, Sunday. He did well.
Yeah.
So, I saw, actually, I think, was it?
I think they're turning it up and listening to us. They're listening to us. They're saying, Yama, grow some balls, turn the thing up. If it blows up, oh well.
No, fuck it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Listen, the disco finishes at fucking 2 a.m. It's 5-2. You're still on your Todd. Just fucking grab something and go now. Do you know what I mean? It's fine. No, look, I thought he looked quite well. I did see Franco Morbidelli, actually. I think it was either passing Ducati or a KTM on the straight line.
I loved Morbidelli this race. And you know why? This weekend? Because Mark Marquez went to do a tow, and he totally told him to go kiss his ass.
No. Did you hear what Marquez said about that? Because Miller turned around and he said, why didn't you fuck off or whatever from Franco? And he's like, Marquez was like, no. It was like he was calling the dog. He was like, here, boy, here. So, speaking of fingers, and you're just like, fucking scumbag. Now, it's a scumbag move. I absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a Marquez fan, but that is total bullshit.
It is like, so, and like, if someone turns around and looks at you, you kind of go, all right, so actually, fuck, right? Yeah. But like, he'll just stay there, right? And now, this wasn't the first time Marquez got caught with it. Like this weekend, Marquez, he tried to follow Jorge Martin. It was the funniest fucking thing I ever saw in my life, because Mir was behind him, and this is on Friday.
Right, I didn't see that.
And you were just like, "There's not a fucking hope, kid." Do you know what I mean? It was just like, put down. Listen, Marquez was definitely saying to Joe and Mir, like, "Here, hold my beer. Watch this. Right? I gotta do it." And it was just, you just knew it was that. You could just see, like, within Sector 1 and Sector 2, Martin had just pissed him, like, and you're just like, "Oh, Yeah, but again, something needs to be done about that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're out there doing your quali lap, and okay, I get the odd bit of mind games, that's fine. But it just needs to be like, if you turn around and tell someone fuck off. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, it gets to the point. Imagine if everybody did that. Oh, it would be pandemonium, right?
100% pandemonium. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if they got away with doing it, do you know what I mean? And I think that's probably the thing, because like, now look, I'll be very honest, right? Morbidelli was going down the straight, do you know what I mean? The last straight, and he braked heavily. Do you know what I mean? To get rid of
Yeah.
your man. And I don't think that's right either, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. True.
So like, that could have caused
But
a
you can't let your emotion get to you on that one. You got to like,
exactly, yeah. So
yeah.
no, I look, that's just kind of the way I would be on it. Like, he shouldn't have. I get why he did it. I can't really blame him, but it's going to cause more harm than good, because of what exactly.
You know
Just
what? You better do it now because, like Quartararo says, if you're in a Honda, they don't give you tickets. Whereas Marquez is going to pull that shit if on a Ducati, they're going to nail him to the wall.
I don't know. I still think the name is yeah. I think they would be actually slow to do it, but I guess, look, we wait and see. So the big news today. Now, last week, apparently, Luca Marini was said that Honda were in contact with him, and that he has a contract with VR46, and that was kind of where it ended. Things have actually escalated a little bit further, because Uzio has come out and said, well, look, if Luca wants to go to the factory Honda team, we won't stand in his way. Now, my latest understanding is that in Qatar, Luca Marini will be announced as a Repsol Honda rider for 2024.
I just heard that.
Yep. Now,
I'll tell you, his brother. What do you think?
and Rossi put out on Instagram a picture of him.
Yeah. What does he think
picture
of
of
that?
him. So here's where. So the VR46 team have always said that if a factory ride comes around for a rider,
Right.
they're free to go, right? So firstly, they're honoring their ethos and this, that, and the other. So that's their goal. Now, I understand Zarco leaving Ducati because there's no fucking room for him, right? And going to Honda, because he's at the end of his career almost. Do you know what I mean? They're giving him a 2-year deal and whatever. Now, I did hear that Marini turned down the original offer because it was only a 1-year deal. But also, so did Miguel Oliveira, because it was only a 1-year deal. So what has happened with Honda? Obviously, they're going back with a 2-year deal. Do you know what I mean? That he's going to be on the Honda for 2 years, because otherwise it makes no sense at all. But if they were going back for a 2-year deal, why would they not go back to Miguel also? Does that make sense?
Right.
But apparently, from my understanding, the T's just need to be crossed and the I's dotted, and he will be announced. Now, as I said, I can understand Zarco. He'd nowhere really else to go.
Right.
He needed 2 years in a deal. Like, I always thought Luca Marini was a fairly smart and intelligent person, right? Until I heard this, right? Like, I get it. I get it. He wants to maybe get into a factory team and whatever. Maybe he's lowest on the totem pole in Ducati. Especially maybe
it's not fast enough. Maybe, like you say, maybe he's looking at it and going, you know what? I'm not going to be that superstar. I'm not going to be the Rossi.
I think
I want to get my ticket.
I think he wants his little bit of a moment in the sun, right? He's not going to have that in Ducati, right? There's too many fast Ducati riders there that are outshining him,
right?
But I think it leaves the thing then, like, okay, so you're going to get off. a championship winning bike. Let's just be fair, right?
Yeah.
To go to a hand by choice now, not by
Mm.
not by like, oh shit, I'm at the end of my career and I need to be
Right,
robbed.
right.
But like, this is by choice. Like, I'm 26 or 27. Do you know what I mean? I'm in my prime. So I'm kind of like, oh, when I heard it, and then I was just like, so now who's going to take the spot in
Maybe he thinks that if he does poorly, that they'll blame the bike instead of him.
But no, I think like I personally think like that this is career suicide what he's doing. Right. Now he may have the luxury that the fact that it's his own brother's team that he could probably get back in, and he probably could, right? But it leaves now one of the most valuable bikes on the grid open.
Yeah.
The 2024 season. Is it going to be Vietti? I don't think so. He's now in with KTM. You know, so is it going to be Jake Dixon? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's look. I think it's a.
I'm sorry. I know you're
really,
Brit or close to Brit, whatever it is, you know.
No. I'm not really a Jake Dixon fan.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, but I don't see. Sorry, I haven't seen anything from Jake Dixon yet.
No, to be fair, he didn't do too bad when he did. He debuted in Silverstone for Petronas when Frankie was out. He didn't do too bad, to be fair. Alvaro Bautista, rough weekend. Oh yeah, by the way, so a really, really important stat for Repsol Honda, right? Today is a really important day for Repsol Honda.
No, it's coming.
So they have hit a record, 50 crashes.
Yep.
And they've missed 9 races. Now, I know someone tried to correct me there recently, and when I was saying Mark had 25 crashes, and he did that the season that he won. Yeah, but he this year has missed like 5 races or 4 races. Joe, I mean, when he was crashing in his championship year, he was crashing in practice and not in the race. Now this year he's crashing in the races as much as he's crashing in practice. But I think that they've set a new record. 50 crashes. Their riders have missed 9 races, which is actually 18.
I'm the fanboys are charging you now this time today.
Yeah, which is actually 18 races.
Yeah,
it's 9 race weekends. Do you know what I mean? And so when you look at it, how many races into the season were they supposed to do? Look, it's just
they even have it down to an art when they low side. You notice that? Now they have it as like they do a pirouette and slide and come off.
So this is where I want people to try and understand my thinking. So you're going to willingly get off a Ducati and get onto a Honda.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where I am, and this is just like, I really thought he was a smart and intelligent rider. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's chasing the limelight, moment in the sun. I don't know what the fuck. But I definitely think he needs to get his fucking head examined. Do you know what I mean?
God loves stupid people. That's why he made so many of them. Like I
Marini doesn't bounce well. Do you know what I mean? And to be on a Honda, you need to bounce well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alvaro Bautista.
I didn't think
he had a lot of trouble this weekend. Do you know what I mean? I think he actually damaged himself reputation-wise by doing it more so than anything else. I actually felt sorry. He is one of those riders, and I'll openly admit, it's like you get the ick about something. I just can't take to the guy. I always think there's something sneaky going on and whatever. I don't know. It's just the way it is. But I did want to see him do somewhat good, just so he could kind of hold up the honor of the Superbike paddock, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To say, listen, look, it's not. Now his first practice, he was 4 seconds off. His second practice, he'd got that down to 2 seconds or 2 points, something that took 6 seconds. Overall, look, I think he didn't do too bad, but I expected him to be a long way ahead of Iker Lecuona on the Honda, especially in today's race, and he wasn't. You know what I mean? He wasn't that far ahead. He was ahead, but he wasn't that far ahead. And you're just like going, yeah, you need to be battling for points. That's kind of where I expected him to be, and he wasn't. It's not that he doesn't know the track. It's not that he doesn't know the bike. It's not that, like, he's had 2 tests on a race winning bike. So, and I'm sure a lot of the DNA that comes from the World Super or from the MotoGP bike goes into the Superbike. This is not a surprise for him either. Do you know what I mean? He's an ex MotoGP star. He's not going to be the kid going in there going, the fucking brakes. It's just, Joe, the power. He's used to all this shit. Do you know what I mean? So, I think I don't think he did too bad, but I think
to me, I look at it, your reflexes don't get any quicker. Okay. And he was in the MotoGP for 9 years.
Yeah.
So he's it's like a boxer. You don't want to fight yourself. If I went to fight myself, I get knocked out in 3 seconds. If that,
Yeah, I just think, I just think what it was, I don't think he enjoyed what it was personally, if I'm honest. And, I don't think we'll see him again in MotoGP.
One thing, and I want to get over with is I've never been so important on something since I've been here. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you look, and this is very important to the point, we're going to have a thing for you to write in, guys, the members. The worst time you've ever seen, if you go back for a decision that Dorna made, was when they went to the 800cc bikes. My God, it was a mess. Everybody was crashing. It was supposed to be for safety. They tried to make the bikes go faster in the corners to make up the difference. People were getting splattered all over the place. The ratings went down. The bike, there was no passing. The bikes all spread out. So when they came out and said, "Oh, they're doing it for 875 cc's," it's right in, because it's the worst thing you can do. This the only time Dorna at 800cc said, "We're sorry." They themselves even said, "We shouldn't have done it. It was the biggest mistake we've ever made." And they're doing it again. And the only reason they're doing it, the same reason they did it last time, they were trying to push out the European teams or the lesser teams for money. Like, it costs more than anything you can think of. It costs more. It's going to cost more than electronics or aero, because you're changing absolutely everything. Right?
But I would agree with you. Like, I'm not a fan. I was never a fan of the 800cc era, right?
And no one wants to have the 800cc as a premier thing anyway. They don't have a lesser displacement. Let's face it, we're men than the super bikes.
Well, yeah, that bit doesn't really bother me, right?
That doesn't bother me, because we're fanboys of the sport, because it just killed.
Yeah, but I think in a way, right? And don't shoot the messenger.
Call up Dorna. He's going to leave a number. Just fucking call Dorna, email Dorna, and tell him to cut the crap.
But this is where I have something weird. So firstly, I think, just on your point about that, the MotoGP bike is going to be 850cc or whatever, and that it's less than. I think it's good that they have a differentiation between World Superbikes and MotoGP. If you get me right, that majority of World Superbikes are 1000cc. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I know Moto 2 are 765 now cc standard engines. Okay.
765. Yes.
765 Triumph engines. Yeah, so I wasn't a fan of the 800cc era, 100%, and I think
it killed the racing though. Remember? Oh God!
But but you have to remember as well, Jake. This is in discussion with the MSMA, right? This is not Dorna yet. This is not Dorna. No, it could be Dorna floating the idea. I would say that.
It's Dorna has when it's.
But my last understanding is that
it's the Japanese trying to push out the Europeans because they're already dead.
No, Jake, and I'll be very honest on this. It is Gigi is a driver in this.
Well, Gigi might have it because they won with the 800cc.
Yeah, KTM are on board. KTM are on board. So what Gigi said when I did that video about it was that there was 3.5 teams on board. So I take that that's Ducati, and that half is the KTM, right? Or maybe maybe it is Ducati, KTM. I would think Honda, and the half is Aprilia, because Aprilia do believe in it, but they want to increase the bore of the 1000cc engine rather than redevelop the 800. But I think maybe his half could be that Aprilia are kind of like it. That something needs to be done.
Aprilia wants to lessen the bore.
But increase or decrease? I can't remember what he said, but they want to keep the same kind of thing. Like, I agree, it will raise costs.
Unbelievable! You're changing everything in the whole bike.
But it's not 100% coming from Dorna, because if it was where I'll be on this, right, is that Dorna were trying to bring into fold hybrid into the MotoGP bike, and
what? A hybrid?
Hybrid, yeah, so batteries.
No, that's even worse.
No, look, yeah, but that's where they initially were going, right? So, Jesus, but again,
Europeans got to put their feet down instead of doing this. Oh, you come up with something. It's like dealing with lawyers when they shoot high and then you come in. Dorna comes in, they shoot high and then take less. So they got to learn to say, no, we're not taking the shooting high, and we're not going to take the middle. Leave it the hell alone.
But look, I think, and I'd be very honest, Jake, a lot of this is not going to happen unless the teams agree on it, and it's not going to be Dorna overruling it and saying, no, you're going to build 800 cc's, because that will.
Dorna runs the show.
They do run the show.
Look at the way the corporate structure of Dorna is. It's a family. Christ, you might as well say it's a mom and pop store with Espinosa.
Yeah, you're right and you're wrong, right? You're right. It is. I call it the mob, right? It is a mob, right? But with Dorna, I don't think Dorna will get away with turning around and saying you're going to build 850cc engines. That's not going to happen, because the 3 European manufacturers will say, well, okay, that's fine. If you're going to do that, we'll fuck off, right? Because I don't know, that engine development is going to cost a couple of hundred, right?
You called it, man. I remember I got to give you that. You called it, folks. I said it's nice to have Marquez in Ducati, because now Honda will have to make a good bike instead of relying on the rider skill. And I said this way Honda will stop trying to hinder other manufacturers and make a good bike. And then
see what
he goes, you know what they could do? It'll screw them, make it real expensive and push them out. He goes, make it an 800cc bike. I told you they're listening to you. Yeah, stop that.
Yes, I better stop those fucking monkey ideas that I come up with. But it's I don't know. Look, I think it's there.
Leave everybody a note. You know what I mean? To call Dorna. How about that?
I'll put it in somewhere in the description that there's an area that you can send them an email and tell them don't do the 800. But look, I think if I'm honest, I think Yamaha and Honda will be delighted with this, because it's a levels of playing field for everyone. Do you know what I mean? Because it takes all the engine development out of it. The rear ride height is going to be gone, I would think. The aerodynamics are going to be simplified. Like when you
even worse though. That's the problem. You start taking if you're trying to make everything into the corner speed, now you have more people crashing.
Yep. But look, that's kind of where the first of all, now they're not going as fast to the corner, they're going faster through the corner. So where the problem will actually be is not, where the safety concern will be is the likes of coming through Craig Jones's corner up where Polo Spagaro crashed in Portimao this year. He hit the barrier. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Racetracks are not going to be equipped for bikes going that much faster through it. So
it's not going to be that much slower period when you're going through there. When you start going 200 versus 220, okay, you're not the change in how far it takes to slow down through the sliding through the gravel isn't that much. The only thing that's ever worked in the 40, 50 years, 40 some years I've been watching is push back the limits, the slide limits, or make the bike handle better. So you either need more tech. Best thing to do is make more tech.
It's not. But it's not about tech. Like what they're looking at doing is a cold hard, like a complete regulation change, right?
Yeah, but
Which
you
is
understand is if you had
blank piece of paper.
what I'm saying is if you had let them have ride effect or let them what the hell what we have on our sport bikes the
Active suspension. That's never going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. Active suspension and push back the limits of the track. That would be the best solution of all of them, and you know it. That's the only thing that's worked.
But Jake, that's my whole point. Like Portimao, there is nowhere else that you can push back the
push back. Yes, you can.
And not a hope. And this one, like Portimao,
it might be a little expensive, right? To push back.
No. Yeah, but like you're not going to spend 100 million or 50 million to redo your track just for MotoGP. You'll tell MotoGP fuck off.
Well, then put in another track.
Catalonia, Spain, exactly the same thing. Look how many years it took them to get rid of that stupid fucking chicane. Do you remember? And do you remember, like, I think it was turn 10 and turn 12. They were running a stupid fucking thing. And it took them like 5 years or so. So it's not going to happen. It's not. I'm telling you that now. It is not going to happen.
I can't believe it cost that much. It doesn't cost that much. Like 100 million. Push back fucking for the
your homologation a year costs $1 million.
Right.
That's just for some fella to come to the circuit 5 or 6 times in the year and inspect it.
No, I'm not talking about
you're a class 1 circuit, or you're a class 2 circuit, or you're a class 3 circuit. Like that, like the regulation around it.
That's just a screw. I can't take that in consideration. But I'm just saying construction costs. I can't take a screw in consideration, but if you take
the other side of the coin, right? So if you're a major circuit, right? Let's say Catalonia in Spain.
How much do you think it would cost to put those the grandstands on rails so they could push them back?
But they're already some are already temporary and some are permanent.
Because remember, it doesn't cost that much to put them on the rails and push them back.
Oh, it does. In Spain, yeah, it did. It cost them a fair fucking chunk.
Yeah, $5 million. Say it cost $5 million.
Not at all. Much more.
What are they making? What are they paying these guys?
Because it's not like Barcelona or Catalonia. They actually changed the track as well to make sure they pull the track back and they push the thing out to make sure that there was the runoff there. Because remember that corner, there was a young chap died in Moto 3. Do you know what I mean? So, because he did hit the barrier, if you remember.
Right.
When you go,
you want to have, at least you're putting something into something that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but my point here, Jake, is right.
Yeah.
If you're a circuit, you're a circuit, right? You're a circuit owner, right? You have 2 important weekends in the year, right? You have Formula 1, which will bring you on average of like 200,000, 250,000 people over the course of the weekend, right? Your circuit is fine and it's perfect for that. They don't want any more changes, right? Because the barriers, they're happy with it, whatever. You have MotoGP that'll bring you 110,000 at a much lesser ticket price. And there's a cost, even if there's a cost of 10 or 15 million, right?
Right.
The cost to run a Formula 1 race on average, the hosting fee, not the actual cost of actually running the event, is 25 million minimum to host the race. Okay?
Right.
You don't have a lot of money left. After hosting Formula 1, you don't have a lot of money left.
Yeah. Well,
there was more people at the Malaysian Grand Prix this weekend than there was at the Silverstone Grand Prix.
Well, Silverstone's the low point.
But Silverstone is a mecca of bikers. There is like the UK.
Silverstone never seemed to pull a lot of people.
But that's my point. Do you know what I mean? So
never. I mean,
where I'm talking about is that if you have to go away, and even let's just say a cool 5 million, how long are you going to? So, would you spend that to satisfy MotoGP, or would you spend that to satisfy Formula One, who sells out? And you're going to send it to Formula One, 100%.
Right. True.
So I'm not going to fuck up my circuit for motorbikes.
Oh yeah.
And lose Formula One.
I'm not. Well, to me, I figure if it works now, that's could be my naivety. I figure if it works for motorbikes, right? It worked even better for cars because cars have, they don't have to have as much runoff. They have more protection, around them.
So the cars are actually the fucking problem with track limits. The cars have caused this because Formula One in a Grade A or Grade 1 circuit, they require tarmac runoff areas.
Oh, right? Yeah, you were telling me about that. Right? Yeah.
And for MotoGP riders, it causes another pain in the arse because when you're sliding and when you slide into the gravel, it didn't burn through your fucking leathers.
Yeah.
Right?
How much is it to tear that? How much is it to tear that? To me, I think, how much is it to tear that? Tear that tarmac up for a race.
But see, it's not that, you see, because you have other events then that, like, I know, for example, there would be like the Le Mans series, the GT series, and all of these would come there, right? Which would all require you to keep your Grade 1 FIA circuit rating. Do you know what I mean? Right. So it's very, very, very expensive to have your full grade. Do you know what I mean? And like, I know Barcelona for a fact, it took 2 years of planning permission to get those moved back. I know in Portimao, for example, the hairpin, the hairpin, the really, the downhill one in there.
The downhill one, it goes down and hairpin to the right.
That goes down into a sharper V for cars, right? Mm-hmm. But if they were to move back any further on that, they're into the paddock, and they're now reducing the paddock size, which they're already under pressure for, right?
Well, first things first. One thing I do know, and we do know too, that 800 era was the worst ever.
Mm. That was definitely, definitely, if it is.
It got so bad that the super bikes were out getting more people than the MotoGP guys.
That's actually something I must go back and try and find out some of the attendance on World Superbikes versus MotoGP when they went to the same circuits, and just see what's the weekend averages on it. All in all, I think
if Dorna says they made a mistake, boy, they really screwed up. Now to go back to it, do it again, it's just like, what are you doing?
But that's what I said. That's what I said, Jake. It's not Dorna that is driving this agenda. It is Gigi.
Well, let's put it this way. We'll say it to Gigi. Well, first we'll say it to Dorna, and if Dorna gets it to Gigi, it'll work.
Yeah, okay.
I still think it's Dorna. Everything comes.
Listen, yeah, I don't know.
Anyway. There's actually a story on that on MotoGP. I'm trying. God, you're going to kill me. And they were talking about it was a financial network, and they were talking about the structure of MotoGP and how it's all tied in with one family, and like the brother isn't qualified, but he's still it's family nepotism in MotoGP, and how poorly they do, and they were talking about how they screw up on the regulations. Believe it or not.
Yeah. Look.
This time it wasn't Wall Street Journal. It was somebody else. Maybe it was Forbes. Anyhow,
right. Look, this weekend we were treated to an absolute. I won't say it was a cracker of race. The sprint race was cracking. The main race was a strategic race and a little bit boring at times. I will admit. Once the gaps were made, that was it. It's never really going to come down. We have Qatar on this weekend. Who's your fastest man for Friday in Qatar?
Martin.
Okay. It's hard to really bet against him, but I'm going to give Jack Miller a crack.
You have been all over Miller for the last 4 or 5 races.
Yeah, I just think he's just going to do something stupid. Like,
Yeah, hey, it's okay. You're just being sentimental. It's
no,
like I'm going.
Joe, I'm actually thinking that Joe jackass kind of thing is singing in my head there, and it's just like, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough.
I've been pushing Fabio right at one because he pushed it so hard. Okay, not this year, not as much as the other years. You can tell. Fabio is not pushing like he did last year. Even
no. I know you can even see it with Mark. He's in a way he's sitting back at his arm out the window, chilling at Joe, getting through the next.
I say Fabio, not Mark, but
but he's the same. Fabio's doing the same as Mark. He just like, you cannot expect these guys to be on 100% flat out when they know there's nothing there for them and they risk damaging themselves.
Dead horse. That's why I said, why don't they crack the thing open totally? Like, you're rolling the dice. This might blow up on you. Like Fabio, this thing might blow up, and a racer, it might blow up. And give you some, you might have a chance. They'll give it a shot.
You never know. They might do a Suzuki for the last 2 races.
Huh?
Last year, they might do a Suzuki for the last 2 races.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. Do you know what I mean? But look, I think the race going on, the championship battle rolls onto this one. It's really squeaky bum time. Like, one fuck up and you're on the floor and your championship is over.
It's over. Either way. Either one.
Yeah, either one. And look, I hope it's a long joke. I hope it goes down to the last day and last lap. Do you know what I mean? And let them fucking duke it out. But it is looking, being honest, Martin is fast around Qatar, and then Martin's the last race at home in Spain for Martin is always a good thing as well for him.
I forget. I know Martin was good on Qatar, and it is an odd track, right? An oddball.
Yeah.
But I forget how is Fabio? I mean, how is Pecco around Qatar? Do you have any recollection?
Pecco's all right around Qatar, but I think the last time he was there, he crashed into Martin, wasn't it?
And who's on a roll and loves Qatar the best?
I don't think the both of them finished Qatar the last time.
No, think about it. Ania, he loves Qatar.
He could fuck either of them up in it.
That was his first win. Remember?
That was his first win last year. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. But sure, look, we will find out on next Sunday, and I suppose on that bombshell, we will say goodbye, and we will see everyone next Monday.
And have Matt. Matt, please put that down. The Dorna Sports email. I'm telling you, folks, I'm doing it for you. That cancer is probably going to kill me before that comes out. But for you guys, you do not want that thing. I'm a fanboy of the sport. You do not want to see that thing turn to 800 cc's. That was a fucking mess.
That was a super one. Anyway, radio, and on that bombshell, we will sign out and see you next week.